What's going on, guys? Hope everyone had an amazing Saturday and that their Sunday is starting off well. We are going to be wrapping up the hand sculpture today, and in a little bit, I'm probably just going to let loose on some annoying opinions. Well, no, they'll probably be annoying to you guys, but some opinions I have about annoying things within the artist community that a lovely comment on a video I posted triggered. So we'll wait to get into that a little bit, okay? But you'll want to stick around if you want to hear me bitch and complain. So just FYI. All right, let's show you where we guys got to yesterday. Bingo. Okay. So if you guys just quick catch up. Originally, I had a plastic hand that I chopped off of the Armsy project, and I wanted to make a severed hand sculpture. Yesterday, realized that the fingers were not accurately scaled, so I had to add a bunch of clay. So while it looks like a total clay hand, it is not a total clay hand. It is a plastic hand that has a ton of clay on it, and we are going to just keep working on it. We're going to keep cleaning it up, and then hopefully, if not damn close, we should be done today. That's the hope, okay? At least done with the hand. In a perfect world, I have this base right here that we could start building the mold walls out on it, but I make no promises, okay? So let's get started putting those, I guess you would say like joint creases and stuff like that inside the fingers. So, okay, here we go. Also, lagged out. I don't know if you're still there. Did you see Oppenheimer yet? I need to see that. Did you like it? Loved it. How does it pair up against like Interstellar? Piero? Thank you for the follow. It's my second favorite Nolan film after Interstellar. Really? Okay. Okay. I liked Interstellar, of course, but I think Inception's got to be my favorite Nolan film. Amazing. Thank you very much. I should know. I haven't watched many of his movies. Oh, okay. So I haven't seen Dunkirk. I think there's another one I haven't seen, which is called Tenant. I haven't seen Tenant. But I mean, if you compare it to Memento, all of his Batman movies, right? Man, I'm totally spacing on it now. Interstellar. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on that one. I don't think he has as many movies as I imagine he does. Angie, thank you for the follow. Here we go. We're coming along. Yeah, so hopefully we don't have to take away too much clay because there's just like a very thin layer of clay on this thing to begin with. So we have to, we're kind of minimally sculpting on here. Because if I go too deep, I'm just going to expose the plastic, and that's no bueno, so... Come on. Any of the fingers in the center of the hand are going to be harder to sculpt than basically the rest of them because it's difficult to get to the sides, right? Like the pinky and the first finger or pointer finger are probably the easiest to get to, so... Unfortunately, the scale now, I was hoping I might be able to make like some kind of weird, creepy, cool severed hand earring. But now it's gotten too big. The scale it's gotten too large. It is bringing me back to when I was sculpting the armsy hands. That was super tedious, and they were even smaller than this. Although retrospectively, it probably should have been closer to this side now that I look at them. But you know what? Hindsight's 20/20, okay? Bow, bow, bow. It's kind of crazy. The expectations of what we think hands look like versus what they actually look like are quite a bit different. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. The subtleties are that very, very subtle. So we need to stand. Is it still standing? Bam, still standing. Nice. Hmm. Come on, fingers. Come on. Put that up there. Is this going to be the most difficult finger right here just because of how it's angled, probably? Denny, what's going on? Hopefully your weekend is going well. It's relaxing, you know? I think the tackiness of the clay is one of the only reasons that this is actually working. Yeah, what's going on, Denny? I don't know. Can you hear me? Kick dick, what's going on? You're doing great. Oh, yeah, no worries. Nice hand, thank you. It's coming along, slowly but surely. We can see the rest of your face still. The baby hand, it'd be really creepy if baby hands were actually just scaled down adult hands. That'd be actually legit terrifying. Not yet. I won't be selling it. I mean, it's just clay right now. I don't know. I'll have to find a reason or something to do with it, but eventually maybe. What if babies in general were just scaled down people? That would be pretty freaking terrifying. The hands, feet, hold on, yards. Put 5 of them onto another hand as the fingers. Just merge them all together. Why stop there? Just, 5 of them on each. Do like a full-size human hand, right? And then just have multiple popping off. Yeah, for sure. How did the Art the Clown mask go? It went really well. We applied the makeup last weekend. On Friday, I think it was, we did the stream. I'll be posting videos of it probably within the month. I have to go through and edit all the like streams and stuff so that I can show the progress of how it went. But the stream went really well. I posted some pictures on Instagram of the final product that we did, like a quick little shoot afterwards. Don't see a golf club one. Golf club? Or is it this side? Oh, yeah. I guess it's just kind of like a tiny little golf club. Well, when you have a shrink ray gun, and you need a sculpting tool, golf clubs are, the logical step. The model from drying out. Wait, which model? This one or the Terrifier one? Which one are we talking about? This is oil-based clay, so oil doesn't dry out, so we're good there. And yeah, oil-based clay, we're good. If I was using water-based clay, well, one, I don't think anyone would ever do that for this type of a miniature sculpture, right? But if they did, yeah, it would dry out pretty fast. Fingers would break off. You need to have some very strong armature underneath it. I can't remember if this is the one we kept breaking off. I think it was the pinky we kept breaking off yesterday. Bow, bow. Bow, bow. We need just like the smallest amount of clay added to look like eyeballs. They do kind of. It's a different perspective when you look at them that way. No, don't muck up the other thing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't have a lot of depth to play with right here. It's very close to the plastic, so Travis Rose. How's Vegas treating you today? Vegas isn't treating me too bad today. We got some pretty nasty storms yesterday. I think it's still kind of raining today, but honestly, both where the studio's at and where I'm at, basically nothing. Big puddles. Everyone in Vegas freaks out when it rains, though. Kind of like everyone in Southern California that freaks out when it like snows or also rains. It's like, oh my God! You know? I don't get it. This isn't right. Tell me this still isn't the forest creature. No, Grizzly Claws. It's not. It's actually a leftover from the forest creature. Well, we're not done with the forest creature either. We've had too many projects jump up, but he's done. He's assembled. The creature itself is done. We just have to make the diorama now, which turned into a huge nightmare. I had to sculpt. God damn it. We started sculpting a whole fire pit, which is going to be lit up with LEDs and stuff like that. So, but that's all part of the diorama. We haven't had to actually, but he's assembled. He's got his base cone on him, and that paint job will go pretty quick. So I'm not super concerned about that. It's just deciding how far I want to take the diorama. I had really big plans for the diorama for the forest creature. This one, when did we start this? It was the beginning of summer, but we've had how many different projects jump in? We had the chest burster, the other versions of the chest burster to work on. That's all you've been watching on Kick. Yeah, dude. Forest is, it can be pretty addicting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but worth it in my opinion too. I really like the forest, and they finally added the Armsy to the new forest game, so that's even cooler. So as soon as the diorama's done, we're done with that project altogether, and I have a couple of other random projects we have to wrap up. Like for the diorama, we started it's essentially 3 projects. It's the entire diorama, and then it's aspects of the diorama. You got your the fire pit. Then I was like, oh, I'm going to want some light up skulls. And so I could have bought skulls, but I didn't. And I was like, I'm going to sculpt a skull and mold it. So then we did this little project, which took like a week of streaming to do. I actually am really happy with how this little skull came out, to be honest. But now that we have the skull, we have to make LEDs and wire things into those so they light up and the whole 9 yards. I haven't been on Twitch for a couple months, still catching up. Nice. Yeah, it is. I'm going to start playing it when I get the money to get... I'm going to guess you say, like, to get it or get a PC or something. I don't know. Yeah, they've officially allowed modding now for the game, so that's a lot of fun. Or it looks like a lot of fun. I haven't actually done it myself. But I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be wrapping up the final... Like, it's not done. The game, they're still constantly doing nice underside detail. Thank you. I pride myself on my underside detail. Anyways, I don't think they're anywhere near being like totally completed with it. I wouldn't be surprised if the rest of this year we're still seeing updates coming out for it, you know? It's interesting to consider because they basically started, they released it, in February? And it's been, you know, every 2 to 4 weeks has been a release since then. So I have a PC. Oh, right. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, you're jumping around to different platforms. I never know which one we're doing here. Yeah, the forest. So here's the thing with the forest. Initially, I was having problems even on my PC running it at times. I didn't think it was optimized. Now I think they fixed that. And they've just done a lot of quality of life updates to the game too. I think the reason, honestly, that I was attracted to the Forest game to begin with, the first thing that really nailed it for me was just the atmosphere of the original game. You've ever spent some? I'm assuming most people have, but I don't really know. If you ever spent any significant time inside of like a woodland forest, there is some very distinctive sounds and experiences that are captured really well by that game. I would probably be pretty interested in that game even if there weren't monsters in it, you know? I would probably still find it really fascinating. And like I don't get ASMR at all. I don't understand it. But the closest thing I think I can experience that is ASMR-esque is definitely being in like the forest and just hearing how well they nail the auditory aspects of it. Forest on PC because I hate the app for Kick. I can't blame you there. I'm also not a fan of the app for Kick. It'll be interesting to see if they so they've done a ton of updates for the Forest, right? But they actually haven't updated the story at all. They've done some stuff where you can find more of the tape cassettes that kind of tell the story, but the ending is really obscure, and they, as far as I can tell, haven't done anything to update that. And I want to say there was a good, I could be wrong, don't quote me, 10 years between the original Forest game and this one, or at least close to. Maybe 8 years, something like that. I got you on surround sound today. Opened TikTok, and there you are. Bam! Actually, I probably shouldn't say that so loud, you know, if you got me on surround sound. But that game's ending is just weird as shit.
Time to nut up or shut up.
Oh, damn. Is Milo in the house? Is Milo in the house? Milo is in the house. I'll always know it's Milo. Your Twitch popped up. Hell yeah. In it for the win. How's it going, Milo? Hopefully you guys will be seeing more of me now that my summer is the summer craziness is kind of coming to an end. But like I said, forgive me because you guys are going to get barraged with a ton of content about that Krampus project. I took, what was it?
We're on express elevator to hell. Jesus. Going down.
Lagged out. I know, right? I'm fine. Editing for YouTube. Yeah, I was just saying, I spent like, I don't know, a month editing down the videos from the Krampus project into what turned out to be close to, is it like 20 or almost 20 or 25 shorts from the Krampus project. That was insane. So you guys are going to be getting to see those soon. What kind of editing are you doing? Are you just turning your Joe Rogan sculpture into like a video, basically? Yeah, I need to update them. I haven't done anything with like my stream stuff lately other than like content updates. I need to update some of my stream stuff, like the sound alerts. There's some settings I need to finalize in Kick. Technically, I made it to where I can actually start getting subs on Kick, and I totally ignored it. because you have to set up like a special payment way to do it or something. I don't know. I don't know. I saw it and I was like, I could do this. Or I could just not. You try. Yeah, I think I've seen you do one. Did you do one for the, is it Surge Tankian or whatever, System of Down? Did I see one for that? I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Is it Serge or Sergey or something like that? I don't know. Serge? I don't know. So now that Joe Rogan's all wrapped up there, Milo, you got another, what's your next head planned? Could be easier to edit if I just take shots from planned points of views, but I'll just do a commented timeline. There you go. I'll do, I don't know, is that a artist? Davey50, I don't know who that is. So he like a streamer, sculptor, artist, what? No, stop breaking off, please. Come on, just stay there. Just frickin' stay. It's because of how thin the clay is. It really wants to not stick to the pinky, okay? I can't blame it, okay? I can't. Big time music YouTube. Really? He plays bass 10 million followers. Nice. I'll have to look him up. How'd you find out about him? Just from like being on YouTube or whatever? No, stay on the finger. Thank you. Yeah, see, it just keeps wanting to break away. Like that, see? Stupid little finger. I might just torch it and then put it back into place. It's like he's got a broken pinky right now. My kind of first Twitch commission. Nice. Do you mean like someone found you on Twitch and asked you to do it? I guess is what you mean. That's pretty neat. No, you're going to stay where I put you, okay? I don't care if I have to melt you into the plastic itself. You're going to stay. It's going well. I gained 75 followers in 2 weeks. Nice. It's really cool to see you back doing it too. I know you had a pretty big little gap. Well, I don't know if that was that big. You had a gap there. Okay. Where's my alcohol link? You gonna try and reach out to Joe Rogan? Fiend Sculpts, what's going on? Oi, oi, what's up? Ow. When you stab yourself with a sculpting tool is no fun. How's your sculpt, duder? What were you working on? Anything fun? I'm slowly getting back to ZBrush, so I'm sculpting a mini for wargaming. Nice. What I need to do, here's what I need to do. I need to get a damn 3D printer, a modern one. We have a bunch of old ones around, but I want to get a newer 3D printer. I've been looking at them, trying to think if there's like the size of the printing bed isn't important to me, and what's important to me is the quality. I would rather get a 3D printer that could print something this size at a high quality, right? Than something that like could print something much larger at less quality. The reason is because that's the part that I haven't spent time figuring out. You put me in ZBrush, I'll mess some shit up, okay? I'll do some cool ass shit. But I really want to learn more about the technical side of how you bring your sculpture from, say, ZBrush or Blender, any of those, into and designing it to make like a 3D printed thing. Worrying about the what's it called, like the dock or the struts or whatever shit you have to worry about, the geometry and all that jazz. It's gonna be Tim the Terrible, a mace and shield wielding, maybe undead war chief. Nice. The other thing I was thinking about was saying screw all that and just finding a company that does 3D printing that I like their stuff and just working with them. I can see value in the 3D design thing. I just hate everything I've seen in person from 3D printers. I just don't like it. I want to have to do the least amount of cleanup, and I really don't have that experience with 3D printers. And we have some really expensive, supposedly very nice 3D printers here, and I do not like them. They are not the quality I want. But if I could find a company that does really nice quality, that reduces the amount of cleanup I have to perform, I could see some huge value in getting into 3D design, like on the computer. But then they're gonna be like, oh, the file you sent us has too many polygons, bro. And I'm gonna be like, I don't know what the fuck that means. I made a thing. It looks really cool. Can't you just like fucking print it out and make it a thing? Be done? But no. What kind of file type is it? I'd say pixels, but I know it's not pixels. I'm pretty sure, what is it, polygon count? And then everyone's gonna be like, there's a button in ZBrush, bro, that just like lets you like, you know, Z mesh your project and everything's cool. And then you read other people's shit and they're just like, no, it doesn't work that way. But see, that's the other part, the right resolution and scale, mainly talking about the scale. I have seen other people that have spent years designing things and 3D printing things, and asking them to scale something to fit to a very, very specific thing, only, I swear to Christ, only works half the time. I don't understand why you can't just like put a quarter, like an American 25-cent quarter, like scan it, put it into every file, and be like, okay, we know this is a quarter, right? That's existing in this three-dimensional space, and a quarter is exactly these measurements. So I want you to scale everything to those measurements, and so when it prints, I want it to exactly line up. The only time I ever see it work this way is when you're actually designing the entire project in the 3D world, and you are using what's it fucking called? Not ZBrush, not Blender, the one that's like for designing engineered parts. Fucking not Rhinoceros, that's the old one. There's a fucking program that everyone uses to like engineers use. CAD, thank you. I don't know my brain, dude. Yes, CAD. Like AutoCAD and all of those. When you design the whole thing in those and then you like print it or mill it or CNC it or whatever the case may be, then things seem to work. But if you're like trying to make something work with another real world created item that is more organic, I don't see it usually line up the way I want it to. I don't know if you're seeing this, Fiend, but it's literally in chat. You get like a cool yellow highlight around your name because you raided, and it says Raid Boss. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty awesome. It just wants everyone to know that you're in charge of the raid, okay? But yeah, and like another thing is, I guess I'd only really use 3D design stuff, like computer design stuff, for really hard edge designs or inorganic things. The reason this has been coming to my mind lately is because I want to do a cool, what'd you call it? Like a sign or a logo that's three-dimensional for the Armsy project. So I could like light it up, put it as part of the diorama, but that it matches the design of the logo from the video game, right? There's plenty of physical ways to do this that are organic based, using Dremels and printing things out and whatnot. But if I could just design it real quick in some type of 3D program and then just print it, hell, I could probably print the case and all the wiring diagram or the wiring harnesses and stuff like that, all part of it. So that's kind of what I want to do. Any 3D software, work on abstract units without scale. I know, isn't that dumb? Why? I will even go straight up, go metric. I know the US is all about, what is it called? I forget what the standardized measurements of inches and garbage. I understand metric. Can we all just agree on units? And that's what the units are inside 3D programs. We'll use millimeters and shit like that, and I'm happy with that. But there's an zoom that allows you to unify the units with actual centimeters and inches. So I simply have a 25 millimeter base, a 28 millimeter block that allows me to keep the miniature scale in mind. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. But even that seems a little weird to me. Because, all right, I don't know if you guys have ever, actually it's based on, Ash's severed hand from the Evil Dead movies. If anyone out there has ever actually done any like 3D design and then 3D printing, there is this weird visual breakdown between what you're working on and then what prints out of the 3D printer. It's hard to explain. There's like, your brain doesn't understand what you're seeing on the two-dimensional screen, and then you fucking print it, and it will be very, very close, but there's going to be some aspects of it you're like, oh, I really didn't like that proportion or this proportion. And until you do it enough times to know what to expect, you can literally have to go through multiple prints before you like the thing that you printed. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but we're doing 3D printing all the time here. It's just I'm not the one doing it, so I don't know enough about it. And I really, frankly, don't want to use our expensive ass 3D printers to go exploring, you know, when there's other shit that we actually have to use it for, you know? And then you Google like 3D print companies where you theoretically can send them STLs. and you get to that point and you're like, okay, this is really cool. I like this company. And then you go to like send them the stuff. But the problem is I know so little about it that I don't know if I'm going to send them the right thing. And then how much money am I going to have to spend for them to print the damn thing for me to realize I fucked up on the file? And it's going to be like, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Spinal Tap. Really good movie. If you haven't seen Spinal Tap, it's really funny. It's kind of like a parody look at like 80s metal bands, and it's like a faux documentary about an 80s metal band, and the band are like a bunch of just eccentric assholes, and they are getting ready for a tour, and they're trying to explain, and they're all British, and it's like a hair metal band, and they're trying to explain to like their producer or whatever what they want on their stage for their concert, for their tour. And they draw like a Stonehenge on like a napkin, and they literally draw some lines to represent the height of Stonehenge, and they mess up the quotes. Like if in standard measurement, I think it's like 2 quotes is an inch, or I'm sorry, a quote is an inch and apostrophe is a foot. So they write like 11, I think they write like 11 and then quote. So to them, they were talking about like 11 feet, but they messed up. And so when they're ready to go on tour, they're so close, they're about to go on tour, they go on tour, and then all of a sudden when they get to on stage, there's this like tiny scale model of Stonehenge sitting on the stage. And they were like, wait, what's going on here, mate? I gave you this measurement. And like it's hilarious. Hilarity ensues. Anyways, that experience is the experience I have with 3D design, okay? It's like, I swear this looked this way, and when it printed, it absolutely wasn't. I still can't get my head around actual hard surface 3D modeling, like modifying a single set of polygons or polyloops. Okay, I know what polygons are, but I don't know what the fuck a polyloop is. So I mostly go for uneven and organic looks, even with armor and someone. Still can't get my head around actual hard surface 3D modeling. Oh, I think I understand what you mean. Meaning, like, let's say you had like, I don't know, like a fucking, you have an organic person, or like say take a person, but you want to put symmetrical or inorganic armor on them, right? So it looks symmetrical. It looks like it's manufactured or machined, right? That's a really interesting thing that you bring up, because I've always wondered about this too. One time I tried to sculpt a superhero mask, a really simple, I think he's called the Comedian from the Watchmen movies, a really simple, just Robin or whatever single like eye patch or whatever that runs across your eyes. Humans are uneven. We're very uneven. Eyes are bigger than one another. One sticks out, you know. So when you're an artist that specializes or does things like this, and you want to sculpt superhero masks or things like that, you are always combating the inorganic and uneven aspects of a human's face to sculpt those things on. Think about this. Michael Keaton. I'm not the biggest fan of The Flash or whatever, but I did watch the newest Flash because Michael Keaton was back playing Batman. And that dude's face is old as fuck, all right? I love the Michael Keaton Batmans, but even back in the day, like, your face might have been a little bit more symmetrical, but as you get older, your eyes, your skin droops and shit like that, right? When you want to sculpt a Batman cowl on someone, you want it to look symmetrical, but you are sculpting it on something that is not perfectly symmetrical. And so you have to have this weird give and take between symmetry and asymmetry, okay? And it's really difficult to do. I can only imagine what it's like on a Batman cowl versus just a simple little face eye cover or whatever. But I'd imagine the same thing would apply for like designing, like, for example, Darth Vader. You know, if Darth Vader never existed and you did a 3D model of what Darth Vader looks like as a final character, and then you had a body scan or like a life scan of the actor that's going to play him, and you have to like scale him down and put him inside the Darth Vader complete symmetrical model. It's going to be weird as shit. I don't know if this makes sense to anyone. Makes sense to me, and I'm sticking to it. Abby 2001, what's going on? I've been really happy with some models that I have done in ZBrush. I was like really excited by them, And then as soon as I started talking to the person that I would need to talk to get a 3D print of it, they're like, oh, you have all this other work you have to do to like complete these polygon shits and make sure the geometry is right. And I was like, wait a minute, but it looks really cool. And they're like, yeah, it does look really cool, but it's not ready to be 3D printed. I'm like, why not? And they're like, it's huge, it's this, it's that. And I'm like, well, how does one know that? It looks really cool. Isn't that all that matters? And of course, no, that's not all that matters. It's like people who export files from like video editing software that are a bajillion times bigger or frankly smaller than they need to be for the purpose of it, you know? It's not good enough to just make something cool. You also have to know about its export settings and all that other garbage. Good, you? I'm doing good. You know what? I'm doing good. I'm sticking to it. Circumference. Circumference? That's a good name. Thank you for the follow, yeah. But one of these days, you guys will stop by while I'm streaming, and you will see me working on some type of ZBrush thing, because I do want to get into it. I think there's a crap ton of power and stuff. Power and stuff. There is a ton of advantages that 3D design does offer. That I do want to take advantage of. So, demon. I'm gonna stick with demon. It's kind of the same thing with making molds of physical stuff. You can make cool and complicated shit in monster clay, but then you have to know how to cut it up and mold it with. That is, ooh, I've been smited. That is true. That is true. That's a good point. But I know that shit. Fiend sculpt. I've already spent the years learning that shit. I don't want to have to spend more. Like, when it comes to creativity, don't you want it to be able to flow as quick as it can? And it's like, okay, spend all this time letting it flow to create this really cool thing, and then you have to spend as much time. But you had to learn that too. Yeah, it's true. I did. Yeah, I know. But see, that's why I was tempted. I'm wondering if there's companies out there where you can create your cool 3D design, whatever, send them the file, and not only will they print it, but they'll figure everything else out for you. That's what I want. There's, and what's funny is, as far as paying for skill level, and yes, certain things are more expensive or less expensive than they should or shouldn't be. I would pay good money to have someone be like, listen, here's the file. I haven't taken into consideration the geometry or anything, but I love the way it looks. How much would you charge to go in, fix the geometry, ready it for a file, STL file that can be printed at any XYZ place at any given scale. And they're like, okay, that's going to take, a week and it's going to cost this much. It'd be like, I think that's a fair trade. Because I'm sure as you've messed around with it, Fiend, you probably have literally, if you didn't have to keep in mind mesh or the polygon count or any of that shit, you can make some really cool shit really fast in ZBrush that you're probably pretty happy with. It's after that, if you just made a giant mess of a ZBrush file, just with all the random shit just pushed in and pulled in and all that, you can make some really, really cool stuff. But it's taking into account all those other things when it comes to exporting the file, whether for 3D animation or printing. I don't know. That's the shit where I don't have the patience for. I'm like, nah, find someone. Because I can hire a mold maker, okay? Where I can sculpt the most complicated motherfucking thing ever and then just give it to my mold maker. I want that person for 3D design. You don't have that much detail in the sculpt. I find preparing the file to print is 3 easy steps. Really? The last couple things I designed in real world would have ended up being for in ZBrush, and this was years ago already, 2 or 3 years ago, would have been 12 inches, probably in height, not including Yeah, obviously depth and width and shit. But I would also say that when you're doing the minis, is that because you've just already learned that from the beginning, taking that stuff into account, much like, say, mold making and sculpting, if you know, the mold making process, that's going to be something that lives in your head while you're working on the project, which might allow you to take those things into consideration while designing the original piece to begin with. And it's like every time I go, so one person was talking about some type of bamboo, I think was the brand of a 3D printer, is one I was looking at. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, that might be a good one. But then I've seen other ones. The ones we have here are everything from, we have a bunch of Formlabs printers. Our first 3D printer ever was from, it's a really famous one, MakerBot, I think. Yeah, it was a filament printer. The Formlabs printers are like resin printers, which I think are really cool ideas. But you really, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to like organic prints, you really can tell when it's like a very organic design. You can tell and see the 3D print lines pretty easily, especially on something like this. You can absolutely see it. There was this product, I don't know if you ever worked with it, but there was this product called CX5. Menke and I talked about this for a little bit. I have some of it, but the guy who originally designed CX5, and there's a reason he's not, I think he might have passed away or something like that. It was like a clay wax plastic thing that you could use. Anyway, CX5 was a really neat product that you could use. And he was supposedly, this was his design for CX5 came out right around the time that 3D printing started to become more, I want to say commercially available, I guess, like average consumerly available, right? And he was going to create a CX5 filament that you could use with 3D printers. I don't know if it ever went anywhere. I'm going to guess no. I never saw it. But if they made a wax or clay based 3D printing thing, that would be dope. Like, imagine this hand, for example. If I could print the general shape of this thing, maybe 10% larger. Yes, it is Chavant, hard Chavant clay. Like 10% larger, scaled out evenly so that I could carve away at it, but it would be the general shape of it and the general structure is already done and I only had to do detail work. That would be fucking awesome. As far as I follow the 3D print technology, I think the resin printers reach a point where you don't get the lines at all, like in the filament printers. Really? Huh. Maybe I just haven't messed around. So the Formlabs printers we have, I would say the newest one is like 3 or 4 years old. And we have like 4 of them. 2 matte and orange to be monster clay. Very true. Very true. Frida, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of monster clay. I really like me some Chavant. This is Chavant hard, and we have a plastic hand underneath this that we're sculpting on top of. So going made EVA foam filament. Oh, that's pretty cool. Dude, can you... All right, Fiend, you have to be here with me on this. Can you imagine the smell of an EVA foam 3D printer? That has to be stinky as shit. Right? I feel like everyone out there is having a totally different experience with monster clay than I am. Because I really don't like it. I don't understand what everyone's fascination with it is. Some of the coolest stuff I've seen that I really like with 3D printing tech is, I think it was Rick Baker, he's not the only one to have done it, but Rick Baker for sure on Instagram has posted pictures of his 3D printed molds. There's another person I want to say I saw on Instagram, or maybe it was like TikTok or something like that, that they 3D printed their jackets for Matrix molds. And I was like, that shit is genius. That is genius. 3D printing your Matrix mold jackets. And then a fan of the stream, one of my first viewers, Harding, he got me into the concept of like photogrammetry, which I still haven't had time to check out, and I really want to mess around with. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I really haven't used Chavant. Used to use Sculpey, too soft for me. Monster Clay holds. Yeah, I feel like Chavant and Monster Clay are very, very, very similar. My beef with Monster Clay, and for those of you who've already heard me rant about this, I apologize. Is the filament the filler they use to make it lighter. That's like the big selling point of Monster Clay, is that for X cost you get so many pounds, right? But the pounds of, like, you can get more clay from Monster Clay for the same price you can get Chavant because they use a filler. And the filler really doesn't matter a ton at all. The fact that they use a filler doesn't matter until you start using solvents. And I have noticed this weird, ever so fine grain that comes out, or like almost like sand, like very, very fine sand that comes out when you use solvents on the clay. I don't know if anyone else is witnessing this, but I have myself. I feel like wax to be usable. Plastilina has a bad texture for me. It's been a long time since I used Plastilina. I seem to remember liking the texture. I seem to remember thinking, no, I'm thinking of Roma. I used some Roma way back in the day. Well, it's Roma Plastilina, right? I don't know, but there's like a grainy texture once you start using solvents with Monster Clay. Because again, I'm pretty sure the whole point of Monster Clay, like the whole selling point, was its weight, so that you could sculpt things bigger and you wouldn't have to worry about how heavy the sculpture was. Should help with armature. Like theoretically that would have helped with armature buildup and everything, so. Miami, thank you for the follow. I know that Smooth On has their Monster Clay ripoff now, which is called Alien Clay. I got to mess around with some of it. Again, it's pretty much like Monster Clay, so. But Smooth On also now owns Chavant to begin with, so they're just dominating that shit. I use alcohol, not mineral spirits. I don't use mineral spirits either. I use a combination of alcohol, which I do notice it even with alcohol. It like gets frothy, but is terpenoid. I don't know if you ever used terpenoid. It's probably similar to what mineral spirits might do, but terpenoid's classically used as a cleaning, like a brush cleaner for oil paints. And it works to smooth out oil-based clay really well. It's very strong comparatively to, say, like alcohol. But that also might be the alcohol I'm using, because I use 99% alcohol. I don't know a ton of people that use 99%, mainly because it's a little bit harder to come by. You can get 90%, 75%, stuff like that at like Walmart. I don't know if you can commercially buy 99%, and that's something that we can only get through our company, so. I haven't noticed with alcohol, I use 70%. Okay, gotcha. You got 99? Woo, woo, hell yeah, that's what's up. I feel like I can't go to like a pharmacy and get 99, I'm pretty sure. I think I can only get 99 here through our company, because we have like shipping agreements and contracts with like chemical companies. Speaking of alcohol, I'm going to start using some shortly for this. Terpenoid works really great. The problem with it, I think, is that it takes a little while to like evaporate and absorb into the clay. So if you go too heavy with it, you have a bit of cleanup you have to do, and you have to let it sit for a while. I'm trying to think how this is placed. It's like this, right? Yeah. Can you? You can order 90 online, no issues? Huh. The advantages of not living in the U.S. No, I don't know. Maybe not. Trying just some different kind of like skin movement situations here on the hand here. This music. Of the 80s steel drums, or whatever it's called. I remember when I was much younger, I want to say around 12 or 13, I would use Goo Gone as like a thinner. And play some video games. Good luck. Thank you, man. Have a great rest of your Sunday. You as well. Thank you. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hmm. I feel like hands are always much fatter than I think they are. About meteor, you know? Russian Russet, thank you for the follow. Same goes for Gully, Richie, and Phil. Thank you guys so much for following. Damn. Whoa. Hmm. Niall, thank you for the follow. Whoa, sir. And for the likes. Always love to see those hearts jumping up and down, guys. Oop. And we're breaking the damn finger again. If I have like a pin I can shove in there that might help, maybe. Hmm. It's obvious you're good. Can you show some other work you've done? That's what my whole TikTok profile is all about, is seeing the other work. We got any other sculptures like laying around? We got our chest bursters, guys. We did the one battle damage chest burster right now. Here, let's see if we can. I'm gonna kill this alcohol lamp before I set something on fire. We got this guy. Silicone. You can check out on my profile all the different stuff that we did with this guy, but This one didn't come out too good, so we turned it into a like a battle damage chest burster, silicone with armature wire. You know. We got Steve, my judgment goblin, that's readily available to look at you guys and give you a hard time. Yeah. But no, I mean, got a variety of stuff. Just check out the profile page. You'll see a ton of cool shit. We wrapped up a Whoa, Steve. Steve just fell over. Hold on a second. We wrapped up a Terrifier makeup effect stream last Friday. I'm sorry, not last Friday, like a week and 2 days ago versus 2 days ago. So, yeah, we do a ton of fun stuff. Only the funnest of things that we do on the stream. Come on. What type of clay do I use? Right now we are using Chavant, which is oil-based clay. I use, for small stuff like this, I use Chavant hard firmness versus like the soft or medium. It's funny to me because even like Chavant soft is not really that soft, but yeah. We're going to be making a mold of this, so that's what we use, yeah. I've done the Krampus project, which you guys are going to start seeing blow up on as I start to release all the videos. That was sculpted originally on polymer clay, and then we molded it and started casting it in a electronics UV and heat resistance plastic. So I'm all over the place. Silicone, plastics, clay, plaster, fiberglass, polyester resin, epoxy resin, whole 9 yards. Wax. We did the wax teeth for the Terrifier project. That was fun. All, was it not? Why do I want to say polyurethane? No. What is that wax called? Oh no. Something with a P. Profilent? No. Something like that. Can be fired. No, this stuff is heat. So like if I warm it up in my hands, it gets softer. This wouldn't make it to 100 degrees before it started melting off of here. You have to use mold. You have to make molds for it. You cannot fire it. Once a mold's done, then you can cast it in, you know, resins and silicone and things like that. But yeah, no, cannot fire it. I've left sculptures inside my car during the summer, and the car gets, you know, during the summer can get to what, probably 90 to 100 degrees, maybe a little bit more, and gotten back, and it's just literally melted the entire thing into liquid. So yeah, you do not want to do that. But it also means that the clay never dries out, it never cracks. You can, I've put sculptures off to the side for 2 years plus and picked right back up. There's like a weird dirtiness that's generally on them. Like the top layer is kind of funky, but generally you can just start using it right away. I don't advise this. You should generally finish your projects. Don't put them off for a year. I guess I'm just saying if one had to, you could. I want to do a quick alcohol brush down on this bad boy. Where did my alcohol bottle go? There it is. We were just talking about Das isopropyl 99% alcohol. It's tricky working on projects that don't have a base per se. You know, they don't have a part of them that is not part of the actual sculpt. And I like to make my life very difficult in that manner. So you don't really have a specific spot that is completely free of being, you know, held. M.A. Creek? Greek or Creek clay sculptor. The pic you see with my name is one of my sculptures. It's very hard for me to see that pic. It's literally like smaller than his thumb on my screen, so I can't really see, but I'll trust you. I'm assuming you mean Greek. Or creek. I don't know what a creek clay sculptor is, but I've always wanted to sculpt, do some carving, you know, like much like the 3D design stuff, you know, there's a lot more to learn. Knowing how to sculpt, I'm sure, helps you if you've never done it before, but getting into other forms of sculpture, it'd be like me saying, I want to get into chainsaw log sculpting, right? I'm only, because I've sculpted in other mediums, I'm really only slightly more advantaged than someone who's never sculpted before. It's mud. Oh, okay, huh. Interesting. That's kind of cool. I've sculpted in raku clay, you know, earthware clays and things like that for firing back in the day. But sculpting with mud, that's pretty cool. What made you pick sculpting with mud? I got away from water-based clays because I hate how it feels on my hands. Oil-based clays feel great. Water-based clays feel like my hands want to crack and bleed all the time. So not a fan, basically. To each their own, you know, no judgment. Trust my hands. I'd love to do the chain. I'd love to try the chainsaw. Yeah, right. I've seen some really cool like chainsaw log sculpting. And I'm like, I could do that. And I'm like, stay in your lane. That's what I say to myself. Is like, you know, like just don't do that. Every time I get into a new fad or like a new thing I'm trying to learn, I'm like, should I even be bothering? I always find out just enough about that given project or that given technique to get myself into trouble and have spent too much money on learning it, you know, whether it's buying, like, in that case, it would be like purchasing a chainsaw. What chainsaw should I get? You know, like fully intending to go all the way. I literally get like, you know, one project done and then I'm like, I don't need this chainsaw anymore. Or like ice sculpting. I think ice sculpting is a really cool concept. But I'd never get into that shit. Actually, ice sculpting, I'm pretty sure they use chainsaws quite a bit for ice sculpting too. So all that alcohol we just put on should help to cool the clay down a little bit. Because of the evaporation of the alcohol, we'll chill it out a wee bit. And remember, the colder it is, the harder it is, so we can get better detailing. I don't know how much. Very little. Need to get more canned air so I can chill stuff out easier. Looking around to see if I have another container. Hold on a second. Of course not. That would make things too easy. All right, this thumb is really ticking me off. We're gonna have to fix the thumb, guys. Okay. Most common way is just gonna be to equally torch them, but we just used alcohol, and I'd really like to not start a fire, so hold on a second here. So what we're gonna do is it should have an armature in it, guys, but the thumb is the one part of this clay or the sculpt that doesn't. Oh, Silas, what's going on? That thing, it could be. It's more inspired by Ash's severed hand that he chops off in the Evil Dead movies, probably. There you go, Silas. Yeah, exactly. It really could be any of it, you know? It doesn't have to be one thing. It could be whatever you want it to be. I think that the thing that obviously would stop it from being Thing from Addams Family is that it actually has the severed like hand part, which I think Thing is all stitched up, isn't it? It's not. You can't see like bone and muscle and whatnot. I don't think so, anyways. True. Yeah. Okay, so if we let that cool down sufficiently before we start trying to balance it again, it should have melded the clay back together. Because what basically happened was we were dealing with that break yesterday as well. If you heat both of them up and kind of put them back together, it should should strengthen it a little bit, right? We have to be very, very careful with what amount of the aerosol or the canned air we have. I wish I had the little tube for it, but of course I don't. Where am I from? I am originally from the Midwest in the United States, but currently Las Vegas, baby. City of Sin. Up until this weekend, the city of 115-degree weather, and now it's a city of flooding. So, been there once, yeah. Not the biggest fan. I moved here because we moved our company here. But you know what? Whatever. It's slightly better than California. Not the biggest fan of California. I know a ton of people love California. I hate it, but Vegas is like a cheaper, it's like a cheaper, dirtier, hotter California. But the cheaper part makes the dirtier and hotter part okay, right? Although it's really only slightly cheaper nowadays, because basically in the last 2 or 3 years, you know, ourselves included, like every company or a ton of companies moved out of California into Vegas, so it's only slightly cheaper, really. The amount of people that probably were not happy to see their city turn to basically California light, you know, were significant. But But I do like the roads out here. If you're anyone who's ever spent any serious amount of time in California, you'll know that the worst part of living in California, other than the cost, is the freeways and the traffic. Not something that Vegas suffers from nearly as much. So, how old am I? I am, fuck, how old am I? 36. How old are you? Or if you ask other people on my stream, I'm 56. I have an old heart, okay? An old soul. Could be my son. One. Yeah, I think my pops is both my pops and my ma are both almost exactly 30 years older than I am. So yeah, 66, something like that. But like I said, old I feel like I have an old soul. I'd rather hang around with a bunch of 60-year-olds than hang around with a bunch of literally almost any other age group, even my own. When's the next Chestburster giveaway? I don't know. Did you see the winner? Oh, I got to do that. I totally forgot. Whimsical Woods on TikTok. She was the winner. I sent her Chestburster. She posted some videos with it. I got to do another one. Ryan Woods. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, dental tools are where it's at. I use a ton of them. If I'm not using dental tools, I'm using tools I made, either inspired by other people or for specific reasons. Like, for example, this tool. I took a paintbrush and the paintbrush is just the handle. And then I took a pin and I heated it up and smashed it with a hammer a bunch of times to create a very sharp and very, very, very thin springy tool. And then and then I just glued it into the end of this. This is one of my favorite tools. And then similarly, this tool is another pin. It's very similar, except it's way sharper and thinner, so I can really get really tiny, you know? The zit tools are good. Use them too. Okay, gotcha, yeah. Loop tools are also my friend. I love loop tools. This tool I got, it had two versions of this weird, like, triangle thing on it, and the one broke. It was like a small one and a bigger one, so I went in and made my own loop tool once it broke, so... Yeah. I love guitar string tools and saw blade tools. These are loop tools, but they're made out of tiny little jewelers. It's hard to say. Jewelers saws. So, and guitar strings, like bass guitar strings, stuff like that. Phone keeps going off. Calm down. Calm down, phone. Cancel. No, you're not going to let me look at it? Okay. Hold on a second, guys. Love those, yeah. Just a heads up, guys. In about 8 minutes, I'm going to be moving the stream completely over to Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. So if you guys want to keep watching over on TikTok, you're going to have to move over there. But you got about 8 minutes before I do. So just a heads up. Don't say I didn't give you fair warning. My phone's, unfortunately, with streaming on TikTok, it's pretty limited because if I want to use my mic that I have, it uses up battery pretty quick, so. Plus, we're trying to build out, you know, the YouTube channel and all that too, so Let's go. Hope to see you again. Have a blessed day. Yes, you too. This freaks me out. Not gonna lie. No, and if you're still here, yeah, like awesome. Blessed day. Everyone says their own thing. Blessed just freaks me out as a sign off, you know. I always have to take it as like, okay, demon blessed, or, you know, something other than, you know, the big guy in the sky. He freaks me out. Like I said, I appreciate everyone's got their own sign off, but for me, it just makes me nervous. All right, so the thing I've been basically avoiding is sculpting a couple of things. Fingernails and the knuckles. Knuckles are the fingernails are where the last of the work is going to be, right? So we have to work on that. And we're going to have to freeze it to do so, okay? You're blessed with the gift you can do. I guess in a way, it feels less of a bless and more of a like an earned thing, you know? Like an earned thing. But I get your point. Like I said, everyone's got their own thing. It just makes me nervous sometimes. Bless seems like it takes the agency out of it for me, you know? Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. But for me, it's like, it just, there's a connotation to it that not just myself, but society has put on that kind of thing. And it's just like, for me, it's like, I don't want to think that I was blessed with that. I maybe luck. I'm lucky that I have had the freedom to pursue and expand my skills, you know? But I guess luck for me, for example, is where opportunity meets preparation, and so when you say luck, for example, like skills and the opportunity I've had, we're lucky to work on these kinds of things. Then to me, it's like, well, the opportunity came along, and the preparation was the time and energy that I put into a given topic or a given skill set. Those things carry more weight, you know? If I have time, I could help you be a believer. You know what? Because I'm always down for a good debate. Someday, I might take you up on that. There's no way it's gonna happen, but like there's no way you couldn't. I would totally be down for it, though. I'd give you the opportunity to try. I would absolutely do that, especially if you ever were willing to try while I was live on stream. That would be better because one, it's content, and two, there's just no way. There's no way you could. I believe that there is probably a chance that if I experience some crazy ass shit in my life, the type of thing that makes people change their whole opinions on religion, belief, faith, fate, you know, things like that, maybe, but then I would just probably pass it off as a concept of me having a severe mental and extreme situation that would lead to it. It's like, you know, people who do, like, say, a bunch of psilocybin mushrooms think they see God, or think they see an alien, and then when they're done, they're like, hey, I believe in aliens. It's like, mind is pretty powerful. It's very, very powerful. Oh, cool, your creation. Thank you. I have answers to questions that were written for me to know. Oh, nice. Ken, congratulations. Thank you. It's funny. Like, when you think about it, like, I barely believe that I'm even existing. So to get me to believe that that anything else that requires a fair amount of fate exists, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I think I might be the most cynical person I know. I'm Brazilian. I love these things. Thank you. I'm not Brazilian, but I also love these things. And for people who aren't Brazilian, you don't have to be to like things. Just giving you a hard time. Sorry. Feeling feisty. It's been a day. It's been a day, guys. Okay. Actually, screw that. It's been a week. It's been a month. It's been a hell of a year. I'm feisty. All right. Rip roaring feistiness going into this fall season coming up. Okay. My father was brain dead. Rises his body in sitting position with his arms raised. A bright light in his eyes. See, that's the type of thing I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If I experienced that, right, I'd probably be sitting there right with you. But that's my point, right? Like, you can't convince someone of something. You can say, like, I could be like, dude, I saw the Loch Ness Monster come out of my toilet this morning. There's no way that you can disagree with me. Just like I can't disagree with you saying what you saw. But if I saw what you saw and had that type of experience, I might believe what you believe. But it would take that experience. It's not going to take someone telling me about their experience. I've heard tons of stories from people all around, my life, all throughout my life. Crazy ass shit. Fucking everything from ghosts to aliens to, spiritual experiences, whole 9 yards. Maybe someday, I will have one of those experiences that make me change my life, but it won't be a conversation with someone. It couldn't be. I would hope it wouldn't be. I would hope that something that strong, something that powerful for someone's life is not something that could be just changed or modified by a conversation with someone. It should be something so strong that made someone get that belief structure or faith. Not just a conversation, not 1, not 20, not 30, but a true experience that allowed someone to get there. Whoa, fingers, calm down. Months before I asked God to help him to know God is real. Rock on. But you don't actually know that your brother was like me. You don't know. I hope you have an experience that totally rocks your world in a good way. Dude, me too. I've had a lot of cool early experiences. Tons of them. And if your brother actually was like me, he sounds like a cool dude. Sounds like a cool dude. But I have lived and been around a great many people of many, many, many different beliefs. Very strong beliefs, weak beliefs, all of them. Fortunately, never... I don't even know. Some people have asked, like, what are you? Are you an atheist or whatever? An agnostic? I'm like, I don't even know. Labels are for soup cans, yo. Not really interested. Unfortunately, I think that the closest thing would be something, isn't there, I believe it's a Tibetan or something like that? I believe that life is, pretty much misery and we just have to tolerate it. Whatever one that is, that's me, okay? Faith is important for the soul. Yes, maybe, but you have to believe in the soul first, or at least the concept of it. And everyone's version of a soul is going to be a little bit different. So I would imagine that if you believe in a soul, that faith is probably very important. I do not believe in a soul in the classic sense or in the traditional sense. I believe in energy, you know, electrons and shit like that. Don't be an Eeyore. Hey, I'm not an Eeyore. I think there's plenty to be plenty of good shit to be found in life, even with accepting the fact that it's mostly misery, right? With a few highlights of good things. It's pain. I'm not called creatively happy. I'm called creatively cursed, guys. Get with the program. Ever since I put that thumb back on, guys. All right, where are we at? All right, hey, TikTok. I'm going to be ending the TikTok stream, like I said. Give you guys like a 10 minutes heads up, like 10 minutes ago, okay? I'm going to be switching over to the other streams. If you want to keep watching, you got to jump over to Creatively Cursed on Kick, Twitch, or YouTube. I can't say this is Christian Brandt. If we ever get a chance to talk, I'd happily talk with you, for sure. It's never going to go anywhere, and I don't want you to feel heartbroken by that. But if we ever have a chance to talk, totally will. You guys have yourself a great rest of your day over on TikTok, okay? I'll be back on Tuesday with more streaming. Hopefully this hand is done and buried by then. But I'll catch up with you guys later. Peace. I would totally do that. I really hope that person reaches out, shoots me a DM or something like that, and is like, I will totally come on to stream to try to save you. And I just let them see what they got to say. It's going to be a bunch of experiences they had, you know, that made them believe in what they believe in. But there's not going to be any reasoning of anything, which is just sad. It's sad, but also I would totally let them. I'd be like, hey, you know what? My soul is for sale. All right, come and get it. I think it's mainly because I'm really jealous of people that can just accept certain things. The whole like Cypher from Matrix with the ignorance is bliss kind of vibe. I'm very jealous of that. Hell, they might get further with that being the advertising. Just being like, listen, are you tired of overthinking things? Are you tired of needing science and data to back up everything? Well, look no further. Christianity allows you to believe anything you want without any data or science to back it up. Your anxieties go away because you're just going to let go of thinking altogether. That's what's up. That's their new marketing plan. You know, don't have to think here. Just put it on a fancy, you know, one of those like replace every letter church signs. No thinking necessary. Walk in and just drool. There we go. Win. I think that's probably where a lot of the angry from people that are atheists and stuff comes from. It's this like, hey, no. You don't get to live your life just not thinking. That's not fair. You know, that's what it is. They get mad because there's people out there that just get to keep fucking just existing without actually considering other people's ideas or concepts. It's like a buy-in to being a thinker of any type is you don't get to have the peace of mind that people who don't think have. I don't care if you're Einstein or Neil deGrasse Tyson or fucking an average freshman in high school or something like that, you know? Ba-bam. We stand? All right, cool, there. Get all this clay off of here. Pretty happy with this. There's something going on with this, like web, essentially, between his thumb and his forehand? I don't know. As long as the armature is correctly placed in the silicone, we should get some decent movement out of it. Whoa. Yeah, it's this angle that kind of bugs me, but even from this angle, I don't mind it. Sorry, it's like when I put it down. All right, we're gonna see what it looks like by just adding some inside here. I don't know. We'll see. It's like more webness right here, right? Maybe we thinned out too much up here, yeah. I'm hearing things. What the hell was that? Oh, okay, that's not going to, that will not keep happening. I'm going to figure out what that is in a second. I shan't tolerate that dinging. It's a bit better. A little clink noise. Yes, exactly. A little clink noise. It's a, I'm pretty sure that's like my stupid phone notifying me about something, but I don't know what. But as I said, we ain't tolerating it, so. No, it was so close. Bear in mind, it doesn't have to balance. I don't need it to. I just would like it to, okay? Okay, there we go. All right, guys, hold on a second. I have to go grab some batteries, guys. I'll be right back. Here's what I want you to do. Everyone, say some nice things to Steve, okay? I don't know if you guys met Steve. He's my judgment goblin, right? I have to run out real quick, and he is going to be watching you guys, all right? And he also doesn't know some of you, so if you'd like to introduce yourselves, feel free to do so. I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Welcome back. Steve, since we're on the topic of hands, your green thumbs must mean you're wonderful. Dude, Steve is awesome at gardening. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but he kind of is. Single-handedly grew your celery plant, right? Not true. That was all you, Glitch. All you. Steve just sent good vibes. It is its pronoun. They, them, and it. It's. It's. I think it would be, yeah. Favorite thing to grow? Impatience, probably. Is it devil's lettuce? No, not Steve. So we're gonna have to do this. We're going to have to create like a stand for it so that I can stop setting it down, because every time I set it down, it ruins his fingers a wee bit. So, and that's no good. So. We have to make sure that anywhere for where the seams are going to be is are sculpturally taken care of, but ultimately we're going to have to put some type of clay base on them. How's your day going, Glitch? All right, we're going to put him off right here for a second. We're going to quickly sculpt just like a base for it. What we're going to do that is with heat, with fire. Where is the... Turd on a stick. Here we go. rotisserie clay style, okay? Some of this is probably way hotter than I need it to be, and I'm really not wanting it to burn my hands. So we're just going to let it chill out. Think about it for a second, okay? There we go. This will just be our fancy little base, okay? Might need it to be a little bit more narrow than that. Something that'll allow us to kind of like still work on it from different angles as much as possible. Right, that's kind of my goal here. So, and then basically once the front half is done being molded, we can work on this other half of it and we'll fix it up, right? So bottom part of the hand will be the second part we mold, but we got to be able to make it so we can set it down and it doesn't damage what we've already sculpted. So and hard clay, hard Chavant, if you're not putting heat to it, gets pretty firm, so it should be a pretty decent base that allows us to sculpt on it. We'll see. I think I've done this with other of the projects we've done on stream before, is just making like a quick little hard Chavant base. Okay, there it is. Whew, stinky. It's like a very large nipple. The longest nipple ever. We don't want the clay to fall off, so that's why I'm literally just blending down the edge of it to this cup. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to torch the end of this and put it here so that the hand can kind of go like this, right? And then we'll just have to basically neglect that part of the hand for the sculpture for now. But it should allow us to move it around with the ability to stop touching it so much. Okay, let's see if we can do this without it shrinking the clay away. I really do need to get some more candid. So now we went from really very warm to very freaking cold. And if it didn't shrink away too much, this is still attached quite firmly to that. So it's already frosted up the cup. So yeah, it's rock hard. So cool. We need to let that cool for a little bit. It could literally even end up being it's like pour spout if we wanted to. It's a really common thing you'll actually see me do with a lot of the projects is bring it to a certain point of completion before the mold is made. Then once the mold's made, you can go in and like imagine it exists in this half of the mold. It's protected, all that detail is protected, so we can go in and we can work on the other part that has got this pour spout or stand or whatever you want to call it attached to it. So now to cool it off. It's still a little top heavy, but this base should help it stay upright, right? Wow, it's still pretty warm. So what happens when you put too many hands on hands? Mm-hmm. Ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-bump. Ba-bam-bam-bam-bam. Ba-ba-bam-bam-bam. What am I looking for here? Where is the... Here it is. Hmm. This thumb is going to be the bane of my existence. Better, better, closer, warmer. Before sculpting the nails, I do find that it's important to like kind of generally sculpt the shape that you want the finger to be in before you put the nail on. It's going to be tricky to do in this case, because I don't know what I want it to be. Day 3,426. Still no email from tattoo artist. Hope grows dim. I'm fading. Wait, what? River Willow? Wait, from... What about... What do you mean no email from them? I thought you already had everything planned out. Also, how things been going? Hopefully well, other than the lack of communication from your tattoo artist. Like, are you afraid that he got, you know? Or she, I guess. I don't know. Spoons with them. The shop constantly still haven't emailed me back despite confirming they got the email. Are they a particular bit like busy artist or busy shop? Big shop, big name. That's the only thing I can think, right? That's why you got to roll up in there, you know? Just show up. Be like, hey, I'm here for my appointment. See, there's a lot of emails to go through, and I'd hear back from on Friday, so now it's Sunday, still nothing. When was your appointment supposed to be? Okay. I'm pretty sure you said it was October, I want to say, right? Hey, some of our customers don't hear back from us for months. So, you know, just saying. Saturday. This coming Saturday? Hopefully not yesterday. Oh, gotcha. Okay. How many artists are in that shop? A bunch or just that one? Four? Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, the consultation was supposed to be yesterday? Did you cancel or did they just not confirm it so you didn't go? I would have just shown up, right? Or it was like tentatively supposed to be yesterday. Meaning they were going to reach out and schedule it for yesterday and never did. Luckily, I don't know what Canada's like, but, you know, tattoo shops out here are, you know, a dime a dozen, so. Ah, gotcha. There you go. Up here, but good shops are few and yeah, that's true. Few and far between. That's true pretty much anywhere, but I don't know. Depends on what you want, you know? If what you need is something simple that like anyone can get, I'm guessing, is it more runes, right? which is what, like line work. It's not like hyper-realism or something like that, right? Oh, it's a whole ass bat. I thought you were getting more hand tattoos for some reason. My bad. Sorry. My bad. My bad. Sorry. Yeah, that one you might want to find someone you definitely trust. You have both hands done already. Okay. I forget, do you have the artwork done, or is that what the meeting was supposed to be for? Do you have concept artwork or anything like that? Listen here, paintbrush. Stop letting go your little hairs, please. Make the appointment for October and put a deposit down. Oh, shit. Yeah, probably time to DM him and be like, yo, motherfuckers, if you can't do it, please recommend me someone who can. October ain't that far away. As my grocery store very clearly pointed out yesterday, and they were already starting to unbox all their Halloween candy, and I was like, wait, what month is it? Like, motherfuckers, it's still August. We have a solid 2 months before Halloween, okay? Well, as someone who is, regularly runs a company that takes forever to get back to its customers with super handmade artisan products, I can say there's probably a legitimate reason. They're probably not shitting on you. They probably are just super fucking swamped and busy. I think your idea of the DMing them and just being like, hey, if you're super busy, that's probably the best way to go. Be like, you're just nervous. You want to make sure everything's laid out, and financially, you want to make sure everything's laid out. I think that's the best way to go. It's hard to know, without knowing like what kind of shop it is. If they're like super popular where you're at, then they might be super fucking swamped, right? Yeah, like you said, you're probably just gonna have to reach out. And I mean, we have people that say that to us. At least let us know, or just let us know. It's like, I don't know how many customers that tattoo shop has, but ever since my experience with running our day to day, be like, what, you want to just let you know out of the 2,000 other people I need to just let know things? If I just went around letting people know what the fuck was going on, nothing would get done, and I'd have to keep as soon as I'd finish, the list of people to call to let them know something is delayed, I'd have to start it again, because in the process of making those calls, I got nothing else done. By the way, I'm giving these guys a lot of credit, assuming their shit is anything like mine, and I seriously doubt it is. But if it is, yeah, just DM them. Hey, if you were out in California, like San Diego, or if you were close to Chicago, I could send you somewhere that does some really cool work, but you get a pretty sweet discount, if not for free. But you being all the way up in the Canada, nah, no dice. Unfortunately, I know no moose that can tattoo, so. Where is... That's what I need is my X-Acto knife. I had it out the other day. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a moose tattooing? That would be awesome. We'll have 3 days left in October, open for availability. Gotcha. Wait, you? How long is your... That's a big tattoo. Is that going to be like a 1-session tattoo, or do you think it's going to take multiple sessions? Should be just one, but it's a throat which tends to swell easily, so it might be too... Could you imagine just like your throat all like... Like a frog. Or a toad, I guess. That'd be funny. Scary and funny at the same time. You know what I'm saying. Do you remember what they quoted you? I'm curious. Like, big piece like that. It's got to be like a couple hundred. Like, well, actually, I'd be surprised if that thing got close to 1,000, no? I don't know how big your throat is. You know, I'd imagine easily 1K. That's kind of what I thought. Yeah. I seem to remember back in the day someone telling me that, like, was it, you could break down a full arm tattoo to basically be something like, if you went from, say, like wrist, right, all the way up to the arm, something like $4,000, because you could figure close to, this was average, this, like, depends on the work, of course, but like $1,000 per quarter of the arm. I was like, that seems about right? Your hands were 1.2. Was it both of them? Full hands 1.2 or no? Now, bear in mind that what I heard, that was like fucking 6 years ago at least. 8K each. So like 2K per quarter almost like. So, you know, bottom half, top half of the forearm, inside and outside of the upper arm, each 2K. Damn. Again, I'm sure it depends on like what type of work you're getting done, right? But damn. 8K. No, they were combined 1.2K. That seems fair. That's like 6K a hand. I know I've seen the tattoos you have on your hands too. I'm trying to remember what they exactly look like. I think you posted in the Discord. Be a well, yeah, you said it's about a K, right? Or are you guessing? Have they not actually told you how much they thought it would be? I'm guessing that's what would have happened yesterday. Oh, okay. Did your husband get this his work done from the same tattoo place you were going to? Same artist? I have expensive skin. Awesome. No, I'm different artist. I'm going through inside. She's not available, so I'm going to the guy who did my. Oh shit! Did I just ruin my computer? Let go, computer. Okay. Yeah, only ink on my body is my ring, yo. That's it. That's it. It's the only ink. It's falling apart because I didn't take care of it when I got it. And my hands have seen so many chemicals and so much abuse since then. Take care of your ink, guys. I know. Handstand for the win. Plus, the artist who did my husband's arms is really heavy-handed, and she bruised my husband's arm, so I can't imagine what she did to your throat. She's just like grinding into your throat. I don't know how you could tell from my limited tattoo experience, both from getting and then experiencing other people get tattoos, how you could tell, how you could not get a tattoo and not feel like someone's bruising you. next you tell me like, well, see, the gun wasn't, or the machine wasn't working, so she just took it and stabbed him a bunch of times. It's just like the power went out and she just had to repeatedly stab him and she bruised him, you know? I feel like every tattoo on a micro level at least is like some level of bruising. Hot needles going over. I have pictures of me getting my ring tattooed and I was not happy looking. But interestingly enough, I can't remember exactly what it felt like. I just remember it not feeling good. I don't know if that sounds weird, but like I think I just like legit forgot what the pain, like I know it's pain, but I do not remember at all the, like I can't be descriptive of what the pain was. They don't tickle. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I keep meaning to whip out my tattoo gun and touch up my ring, but it's kind of one of those things where like, if it ends up hurting too much and I fuck it up, or even if I'm not fucking it up and it just hurts too much and I bitch out, I don't want to know that I bitched out, you know? Even if no one else knows, I don't want to know. So I haven't done it. I could literally, I have everything sitting in a container right next to me. I could try and do it right now. Well, not right. I mean, well, I guess I could right now, but I'm not going to, okay? God, this thumb. It burns. It's interesting you say that because I really don't, as I said, I don't remember exactly what the type of pain was, but I can say that if I don't feel like burning was it. You know what might have been it that freaked me out more than anything else? Like that almost synthesized pain, whether it was actual pain. I seem to remember when this got done feeling like in my bone, even though I doubt it. I mean, maybe it did, but I seriously doubt that it went all the way to the bone. I seem to remember feeling it in my bone and it freaked me out. I don't like feeling my bones. Any way, shape, or form, okay? It's not something I want to experience. My bones are just part of my body. I don't want to feel them. All right? Feels like it's hitting your bone. Yeah, exactly. Like that part, even though it's not a pain, it's like when I've had my teeth pulled, like it was numbed, right? But when they broke apart my wisdom teeth to pull them out, I remember the feeling of the breaking and the crunching and all that shit, right? And then, because I was awake, like they just numbed me and they pulled them out. It's like, it didn't hurt. Pain was not what I felt, but the experience of that thing like synthesized almost like a pseudo pain. I have all knuckles done, so it feels like the needle is going to your bone. Yeah, exactly. And I've heard similar stories about people getting like their skulls tattooed. I don't know. Willow, have you had like skull tattoos or anything like on your dome piece that like the pain isn't really that bad, but the concept of like hearing the like up against your fucking skull sucks. It only goes to dermis, yeah, exactly. But it doesn't feel like it, yeah, which is weird. No, but my dad has head tattoos, and it's not so much the skull as it is the nerves around your head that it feels weird again. Okay. We were shopping when I was 18, saw a lot of dudes jumping during their head tattoos because like a needle randomly hits the nerve and you're just like, wah! And all of a sudden the line goes wah! Like across the head. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Right. Okay. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. I thought about getting like the, you guys ever seen those? I'm sure you must have seen them, Willow, where like it's dudes who get the, I don't think it's just dudes either, but people who get like the 5 o'clock shadow tattoos on their heads, which is just like dots. They do the dots because they're balding or whatever. Like, I'm thinking about that. I don't even think that would help me. My hair grows so little up here that even if I had 8 billion dots of tattoos up here, it's not going to help me a ton, right? Head tattoos don't really hurt that bad. Yeah, I would imagine. Just like that area up here just doesn't, you know... I think I'd rather get a head tattoo before another finger tattoo. Did I say another head tattoo? I don't have a head tattoo. I would get any head tattoo before another finger tattoo. I'd already have a super badass fucking sleeve tattoo if I could ever take any time off and go visit my buddy. They designed a really cool chest burster tattoo for me. And I've never been able to take him up on it, so... I'm not gonna lie, part of me too is like, man, I've made it this long in my life with like minimal tattoos. I will probably live the rest of my life without getting more tattoos, if only because of the fact that I just don't. I'll keep procrastinating until the time is gone and I'm dead. Sternum, huh? Yeah, luckily, I don't think I'll ever have that to worry about. I don't think I'd ever want to get the sternum, anything on my chest tattooed. I think neck tattoos are pretty cool of an idea. I really like that. Not gonna lie, I like the idea of like utility tattoos. Like I would love to get the whole like I think it was my wife when she was a barber said that she knew some barbers that had gotten like some type of measurement instrument like tattooed on themselves, whether it was like, yo, Philip, rated with 27 viewers, yo, dude, what's going on? Raiders, welcome. We're working on a severed hand inspired by Ash's hand that they that he chops off in Evil Dead. Raiders, welcome. But yeah, no, we were working on this. Just getting back into the swing of things. My summer is pretty crazy, so we're trying to get back to a bit of a stream schedule. So we do everything from special effects, makeup, mold making, whole 9 yards. We make tons of messes on my stream, okay? So that's what I do. You can see Steve, my judgment goblin. Ba-bam! Okay. Chills. Like, what's good? Not much, man. Just getting back into the swing of things. I had a visitor for the summer that kind of threw me off. I don't know. We did a really cool makeup stream, before they left last Friday. That was really fun. We turned them into the Terrifier. I don't know if you, if anyone caught that. That was a lot of fun. But been just working on trying to create a lot of shorts for new products that I'm launching on the Etsy shop. So overall, pretty good. What were you working on, Philip? I know you were pretty busy too. Hopefully things have started to calm down for you. That's not part of the armsy. No. Well, actually it was. We took the hand off the armsy, and then there's the armsy hand is underneath all this clay, but the scale was off, so I had to change it. But it's for a different project, just like inspired by Ash's hand, you know. So seen you work on the Terrifier. Yeah, the makeup application went really cool. I had a lot of fun doing that. That was, like I said, not like 2 days ago, the week before we did the actual application, and it went really awesome. And also, is it Shay Art or Shex Art? Thank you for the follow. So I forget when I started this hand project. I want to say it was beginning of summer. I was just trying to show how you could take like parts from your other projects and turn them into something else. So we took one of the hands from the Armsy project and started sculpting this guy. Originally the scale would have allowed me to make it like an earring or something, but now I think if I want to finish it, it's gonna be like a posable silicone, like imagine like a fucking keychain or something like that. It's only somewhat light at night. Yeah, at night for you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, the Armsy, sadly, is done pretty much. I mean, the thing I have to do on the Armsy is decide what I'm going to do with the damn, frankly, what I'm going to do with the diorama. Like, if I could probably, in a day, paint the Armsy to be completed. He's got his base coat on, but in a day, I could probably paint the rest of him, if not most of it. But I really want a really badass diorama, and I keep hitting roadblocks, whether it's the fire pit, whether or not I even want the fire pit, or anything like that. So I don't know, it's really sad actually, because I can't completely decide on what type of frankly what type of diorama I want for him. He could absolutely stand on his own as a sculpture, but I feel like he needs something. He needs some diorama, you know? The detail in that thing. So, I don't know. I have to figure out what I want to do with the Armsy. I know what I want I know that he is done. I just have to figure out to what extent I'm going to push the rest of the project. Like I was showing off earlier, our second fire pit. I put so many hours into this stupid fire pit concept, and now I don't even know if I'm going to use the fucking thing. I really want to do an LED fire pit, and I'm so happy with this part of the project, but I just can't. I'm having a really hard time visualizing it and like placing it inside the diorama, which sucks because it was going to all be part of like what naturally lit up the Armsy. So you wouldn't have to have like specific lighting for the Armsy. I don't know. Just pushing over trees and ruining my kit. Yeah, pretty much. Hand is looking cool. Hey, creature monsters. Thank you. It is. It's coming along for sure. Yeah, no, that's exactly what it does. It shows up, messes some shit up, tries to kill you, destroys your camp. Yeah, that's it. If you're able to. Yeah, I will probably finish the fire pit one way or the other, but whether or not I utilize it inside the diorama, because really I do want the Armsy to be done. It's over 1.5 years now that we started the Armsy project, and the monster is done. The original thing that I started is done and was done a while ago now. Now I just need to fucking figure out how to put it all together into a final presented piece. So that's the frustrating part. Mixed media art is good, but isn't it difficult? Yeah, it's that I can't. The biggest thing is the aesthetics of the diorama. That's where I'm at. If I could pick a final design, I could execute it. I know that. It's that I can't. Every test I run introduces new ideas, new problems, new concerns. And I'm just like, man. And I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you guys have ever messed around with some of that foam that they use commonly to work on dioramas. But it's messy. And it's something I would have to do out in the studio too. And which sucks because our studio is, albeit the rain today has made it, or the weather this weekend has made it more tolerable. But generally speaking, during the summer, our studio is like 115 degrees. And while I have my stream, station set up that I could bring it out there pretty easily, I really don't want to work in 115 degrees. Sorry, guys. Not interested. So, yeah. Well, Philip, I don't know if you're still there, but if you are, what were you working on? Did you already say? I know I don't know if I asked. It's like, did I say that or did I think that? So, oh, wait, you did. Starting Project Friday, some fairly freeform alien entity just pushing clay. Okay. That's dope. Creativity _ hot tub. Easy cooldown. I know you were, like I said, I know you were busy. It was messing with your stream schedule a little bit. Are you back to your normal stream schedule? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I spent the better part of the last month doing a ton of editing for this Krampus, all the Krampus shorts from the Krampus project. Now that it's finally available on the Etsy page. And so I'm going to start the essential like marketing campaign for that tomorrow with all the different shorts. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of people saying how expensive it is and blah, 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 blah. Screw them. People were like, love the Chestburster project. But a good portion were like, hey, I can't believe it's $1,200. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I did sell 2 of them, so I'm not complaining too much. It's just a bummer when you see that type of like comments. It's like, well, how much should it be? Like $12? Should it be $2? Am I putting lines? Not so much lines. It's just kind of moving it around a little bit. Plus, if you guys have seen Evil Dead 2, the hand is all messed up. It is not like a healthy looking hand. Okay, so the fingernails are all messed up. They're all yellowed and gross and broken and irritated. So adding some texture to the fingernails isn't honestly probably a bad thing at all. Well. How do I price it? Yeah. So a very still have to vary now and then. Yeah. My how to price it is so probably disagreeable. I think people undercharge all the time, personally, but really depends, of course, on what you're trying to sell, I guess. I can almost certainly say I can imagine a world where I have to lower my prices, and how that can affect the look of a given shop online when you have to do that. Easier for me to understand than a world where I'm raising those prices. I don't know. And at least for now, I have a job, so I don't have to let go of work that I've put a ton of hours into for less than I really want to, The Idle Hand. You could look at it as The Idle Hand, actually. I was thinking about that movie. It's inspired by Ash's Severed Hand, but it totally could be, I forget the actor's name, in Idle Hands, which is a great fucking movie. It could totally be that hand, too. If it costs that much, it's because it takes me fucking hours. Yeah, exactly. It is like that song. If you're in that lucky position that you don't have to sell for your surviving. Yeah, but even then, I feel like if you were trying to sell your work for survival, a lot of artists would be still underselling or undervaluing their work. And what's funny is I think a lot of people complain about the quality of things that they purchase nowadays, but everyone wants that that Amazon Prime experience, you know? They want that like fairly inexpensive, fast delivery type thing, and we give it to them, we being anyone that manufactures widgets and shit like that. So much so that by the time they come across something they really want and it's not at the price point or the speed of delivery that they want, people literally freak out. They don't understand. It's like their brain breaks down and they can't comprehend anything. Wait, I can't get it here tomorrow? What? We have fed the level of impatience in society to extreme degrees, and it's very, very sad. I'm using Chavant Hard Clay. We'll be making a mold of this bad boy, so that's yeah, my preferred medium for something of this size. I don't really do, like, I know Philip does a lot of like polymer clay. I don't really do that stuff. We did sculpt that Krampus out of polymer clay, but even then I molded it. I still molded it. Nothing, I really appreciate people out there that sculpt in polymer clay. They make the one thing, and I would get so nervous having the one thing, the one piece, you know, that then like, what if something happens to it, you know, or I want to sell it and it's just gone forever. It's just gone forever, you know. But my thing is way more molding. I love making molds, so. It's my jam. You do custom one-off pieces, might be more likely to sell for the correct price, maybe. Maybe. Are you selling your work right now, Philip? I don't know. I have this experience from my quote-unquote day job where we sell a bunch of really high-end products, all handmade, for very expensive prices. And the thing is that people do sell, like, people will pay what things are worth. You just have to hold out. It sounds so shitty to say. You have to hold out and basically play chicken. So if you're not in a position to do that with selling your artwork, then it sucks, because at the end of the day, the value of your work is what people are willing to pay. So I had a really good conversation with Kyle Does Art on my stream a while ago. And it's this idea of like, if you're a painter, for example, and you sell a painting, say a 3x4 painting, a big painting, 3 feet by 4 feet painting, right? Oil painting, whatever it is. You sell that painting for $500, right? At that point in your life, if that's the most you've ever made off of a painting that size, then that's your value, $500 a painting, right? If you sell that same painting for $3,000, well, that's your value. An artist's value, or the things that they create, are only worth what people are willing to pay for it. So it would make sense to me that if you're creating cool ass shit, you should try and get absolutely the most amount of money out of it, so that moving forward, every time you create something and you put a new price tag on it, you're never surprising people. Let's say you have people that are following your creations and they're seeing the different stuff that you're posting, say on Etsy or your webpage or whatever, and you're selling, and you're going from like, dude, everyone kind of knows me as the $500 a painting guy, and then you release a painting that's, you know, say the same size as all your $500 paintings, but now you're releasing it for $2,000. Like, it's going to be harder to sell that thing versus building a network of people or customers or appreciators that already expect a high dollar value when they go to your social media page, your Etsy page, your website, whatever the case may be. be, they're not going there expecting to see something, you know, super cheap. They're going there to see something luxury. They're seeing something high priced and stuff like that. So, you know, it's all about the expectations that you set. If you roll out with cheap products, you will have a harder time selling an expensive product than if you roll out. It's like where you want to lose. Do you want to lose at the beginning of your career where you're trying to post work and sell it? Or do you want to lose, you know, a couple years in or a few years, 10 years in? If you start out selling really cheap stuff, you will probably grow quickly. You will have lots of sales. You will probably like have a ton of reviews and shit like that. But then the second you want to start making like really significant amount of money on given products, no one's going to buy your shit. You're like, well, why the fuck would I spend this much when everything else was going for that much? I don't know. It's a fine line. It's a very, very fine line. Creature Monsters, I hate making molds. There is something cathartic to me about making molds. Outside of grinding them, particularly fiberglass molds, particularly in 100+ degree weather. I don't like doing that. So, but yeah. And plus, here's another thing, keep in mind, with art kind of becoming what it is. Le Chauffeur, thank you for the follow. With art kind of becoming what it is with AI and things along those lines, hand or individual created art is going to inherently become more valuable because the barrier of entry to create cool things is getting lowered by things like AI art, right? So that means that this is the time that all artists that make real things need to start like standing firm on higher prices so that by the time AI art is fully operational in the 3D world and purchasable and things like that, there's already an increased value or a corresponding value increase to art that's created by, you know, us good old-fashioned human beings. Yeah, generally speaking, I agree. AI art probably does increase the value of human-made art. The drawback, though, is that let's say you have 100 human artists, and then you have, you know, would be a fair comparison, probably like 10,000 AI artists, right? Those 100 human artists are going to get dwindled down to the best of the 100. So while it's better for the best of the 100, let's say it ends up being 5 people, 10 people, 20 people, how many people lost out to the AI art, right? Something to keep in mind. It might be better for the greater good of traditional artists, but there's going to be a lot of people that do lose out because they can't compete with the AI art. And the value, another example of a situation where they didn't value their art high enough, and so now they were selling their art for the same price that people that are producing AI art are doing, but AI artists are able to produce way more. Their output is just stupid fucking high, right? So traditional artists need to start fucking upping their prices across the board. I was just talking to one of the chatters and one of my mods about tattooing, and you know, something to keep in mind. She brought up how her husband basically spent, I think she said $8,000 on a tattoo sleeve. You know, what are tattoos if not just art, right? If you cut off someone's skin of their arm and flattened it out, really, how big of a painting would that be? You know, and people are being paid like $8K to do it. Tattoo artists already had this shit figured out, and I'm sure they're shitting a little bit in their pants waiting for the, you know, combination CNC. I've already seen videos of the like 3D printers / CNC machines that people attach like tattoo machines to, and someone just holds their arm under there. And they can do really simple shits, but they can't do complicated ones because the machines can't comprehend the concept of stretching the skin, the direction that the needle has to go on the skin. They don't understand all that yet, but give it time. As soon as we figure out fucking laser tattoos and shit, it'll be interesting to see where that goes. I always think of, is it Starship Troopers in that movie, they have a scene where a couple of the Marines go and get tattoos together at like a futuristic tattoo shop, and it's just a laser that just shoots the tattoo onto their arm. That looks pretty cool. To a weird Blade Runner equilibrium world. Hell yeah, we are. I say embrace it, okay? And learn to learn how to play in that world. 'Cause if not, dude, how do you not get left behind, you know? I think I'll be too old to fight it by by then anyway. There you go. Got a big old thumbnail, yo. Drop some doubled man wisdom on some. Hey, you know what? That sometimes, pretty sure that's one of the most important parts of the sci-fi movie. You know what I mean? There's the dope old man shit that people know, you know, that can be the thing that turns the tides of war. Dancing in the cities for advertisement. That's true. A healthy thumb, yeah. Gotta get some of that robot strange. We can only hope that robot strange is like, gotta get me some of that old man strange. Live in Descartes' apartment? Wait, what? Whose apartment? Oh, Descartes. Okay, I was like, oh, it's a pretty cool apartment. Honestly, I could have done without the weird hollow woman walking around and freaking me out. You know, I could have done without that. No joke, I probably would have been, what's his face? Fucking Batista. Dave Batista's character out, like, randomly growing weird ass shit in the fucking, like, no man's land of the future. That would have been me. That would have absolutely been fucking been me. I ain't putting up with these damn robots. Even though he was a robot, I will obviously, you know, consider that. Another round with April O'Neil, 25-year-old Angelina Jolie smacks credits onto the counter. This way, Mr. Hoodie. Protein farming coming right around the corner. Yeah, no shit. Shit, is that what he was doing in the movie? Was it protein farming? Pretty sure that's what. Yeah, right. With the mealworms, yeah, that's true. I think you're right, actually. Okay. Not gonna lie, since 2049, it's been a long time since I've seen it. I already do the microgreens and stuff in their basement. Yeah, that's true. It'd be high demand. True. Esoteric Hoodie, thank you for the follow. Yeah, my apartment is warm at the moment. I could not work on autoclave right now. Yeah, this office right now is AC controlled. Like I said, the studio though is fucking not, and it's probably literally like fucking 100 degrees and humid as shit out there. But Las Vegas has been going through a crap ton of like storms and shit right now. Normally it'd be about 115 degrees, just heat. But all weekend long we've been hit with crazy like hurricane adjacent storms. There's like a hurricane that's hitting like Mexico and I think like Southern California very lightly. So, and it was a Cat 5 when it was out in the ocean, but as much as people want to make people believe that it's like destroying Southern California, I'm pretty sure it's like some heavy wind and rain, but 115 Fahrenheit. Yeah. And then, is that 46 Celsius? Yeah. Vegas is a desert, so we get all the terrible aspects of a desert, you know. When it rains here, it's like a torrential downpour. And because it's a desert, they don't have any infrastructure set up to like make it okay that it rains. Creatures, monsters. I thought you were already following, but thank you. Why the fuck is my phone dying? Oh, it's not. Okay. But as soon as it rains, tons of shit floods. I've even noticed on social media that like Las Vegas will start just tons of people will be posting pictures from Las Vegas and all the flooding that's happening. These motherfuckers aren't here for it. Above 29. Well, here, okay, so I will say this. Usually Vegas will be, say, during the summer, we'll get up into the, between basically, on average, between 100 and 100 and, say, 16 degrees. It's usually the low 100s, 105, something like that, right? But it is dry heat. I will say that. Vegas is dry heat. It is not shitty, humid fucking heat. It is just hot. So, and like 100 degrees dry heat is better than fucking 80 degrees with humidity. So it's all I have right now. I haven't started on anything yet. Oil base clay is based like it's the way it holds together. It's oil, right? So the more heat, oil thins out. So it could melt. Like if this was out, if I set this outside in 115 degree weather, it might melt straight up, just like bleh, over a long enough period of time. But even I'm in air conditioning right now. I think it's about 70 degrees or something like that Fahrenheit. And I'm still freezing it with this to work on these fine details. So keep that in mind. Go get some sleep. Get some sleep, dude. Thanks for the raid. Greatly appreciated. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. All few hours of it. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I'm actually not going to be streaming super long either here. Finish off this nail. Actually been going longer than I normally do anyway, so. amount of times I have found myself sculpting tiny little nails and like cuticles and shit like that. It's too often. It's already Monday here. Oof. It'll be Monday here soon enough. All right, I think. Not quite. Hold on. Chill it out again. Whoa, very cold on my real fingernail. Oh, okay. I think I'm just going to start sculpting in wax from now on. Everything, just wax all the time. So this clay is poly based. Like polymer clay is a whole other beast. Like you can bake polymer clay and it'll harden. I don't know, other than saying that it's oil based, I don't know what else I would say to describe it. It's like, it's very oily. So you can like see that like oil will gather on your hands while you use it, right? So it's similar to polymer clay that way, but it is only designed for like if you're going to be making molds of your sculptures versus trying to bake them, right? So like this is what they use in like effects studios and stuff to sculpt monsters and shit that they're going to make molds of. It's also what's used, still very commonly used today by the company, the car company Porsche or whatever. They still will sculpt their cars out of Chavant clay. It's oil based, and they will use giant heaters and shit like that to sculpt the using a keyboard air blower. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just turned upside down so it freezes what I'm working on. So, but yeah, it's great stuff. I love it. Doesn't really dry out. I could put this aside for a year, come back and work on it, you know? So, but I'm actually going to be wrapping up stream. But before I go, I just wanted to give you guys some kind words of advice. So here's the dealio. I actually posted it in my Discord that I might be talking about this a little bit more, but I wanted to touch base on it real quick at the end of this before I let you guys go. So I received like a comment on one of my shorts. I can't remember if it was on like YouTube, Instagram, or one of the social media shits. And it was another artist that was commenting about how expensive my products were. And this is kind of on the heels of what Philip was talking about a little bit ago, and I was talking about. If you're an artist and you are charging XYZ for your art, whatever it is, that is your value. Whatever you charge is what it is. It didn't matter if it costs you like $5, 2 cents, $100, or whatever it is to create your work. You know, put a price that you think you're worth on your artwork. And this is a privilege that people that have jobs have, because they don't have to sell their work to live, right? So I do understand that, but just remember that when it comes to your value in society, this is my opinion, your value is what someone's willing to pay you, okay? So if you go around charging very little money for work that deserves more, you're hurting yourself and you're hurting other artists as well. So put your worth, charge more money, do it all, charge for all of it. Okay. I think the first way you said it was right for the car. Right. Yeah. So I guess I just wanted to point that out, that you should always be doing your most to get the most out of your work. Whether you have to make one widget or you have to make 200 widgets, probably be better to make one that you can sell for a lot versus 100 that you have to keep slaving over, because then you can't work on new projects and be involved in innovative concepts, ideas, and, well, frankly, new ideas. You're just going to keep making the same damn thing over and over and over again if that's all you have time to do. So if you're an artist out there, I don't care if you have your own website. I don't care if you sell everything through Instagram or Etsy. Charge more. Do it. People will pay it. And if you're one of those people out there who's charging very little, I mean, I guess good for you. Awesome. But you should charge more anyways. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I try to make sense on occasion, so it's better than me. I wrote all these comments that I was going to reply to this person. I was like, this isn't even worth my time. It's one thing to see people who aren't artists kind of making these stances, but if you're another artist, just definitely don't go and shit on other people. I'm not even saying that's what this person did, but don't bring up price and cost on other people's work. It just is. It's like, that take is literally like a one brain cell take. Don't do that. It's no bueno. So anyways, guys, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And Esoteric Hoodie, thank you so much for hanging out since the raid. I really appreciate that. So Philip, you're gone, but thank you for the raid and bringing your friends with you. So have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I will catch up with you all on Tuesday, provided everything goes well, and hopefully we will not be working on this fucking hand. We'll be on something else. So peace out, guys. Have a great night. Peace out.